Welcome back to another reaction video. Today, we're reacting to some Decoy Voice. Did Korea go too far? So, for context, this is about Johnny Somali and all the stupid shit he's been doing in Korea. Yeah, in my opinion, I don't think they've gone far enough.
After Johnny Somali and his two buddies were taken down by one Korean dude, a literal line of other Koreans formed, asking to fight him next.
Check your Instagram DM. Let's find me. I will kill you.
If you're in a 20-mile radius to where I live, be prepared to see me.
Until a Korean Navy SEAL went out and actually found him in his hotel.
Hey.
Hilarious.
야, 소말리. 어디가?
어디가? 오시민 어디가? 어디가? 우리 어디가?
Just decked his ass.
And now YouTuber Rotten Mango decided to cover the incident, but to explain the significance of this is on YouTube. She has nearly 4
was
million
that
subscribers
title
with 1.8 million views on this video.
Pouring baby oil on SA.
Even though
That's
I've
just
seen similar numbers
weird,
recently,
dude.
Rotten Mango or Stephanie Sue is in the top 100 on Apple Podcasts and even ranked number 17 on Spotify with the second most watched true crime podcast. So even though me, Asmon Gold, and Abba and Preach have received millions of views covering Johnny's descent into internet obscurity, we all kind of sit under the same umbrella online, sharing much of the same audience and repeated viewer. But Stephanie Sue in the Rotten Mango podcast introduces Johnny's crimes against Korea to millions of other more offline people, which is only going to apply further pressure to the Korean government to do something very uncharacteristic and absolutely throw the book at an American as something like 16 years in prison is on the table. And although it seems silly that a podcast documentary can actually impact the outcome of a court case, just remember how R. Kelly's crimes were basically an open secret for several decades until Lifetime made a documentary about him, reminding the public to demand justice. As this even has NBC News reporting on Johnny Somali or Ramzi Khalid Ismail, with Dexerto stating he's facing up to 7 years in jail for sharing AI-generated content, putting his previous actions under a microscope, which now may actually lead to terror charges. I hope those $3 super chats were worth it, as he's been basically begging for international notoriety.
Charges,
and now he's put both himself and South Korea's
they
justice
revoked his
system in the spotlight.
passport.
So if they want to avoid advertising themselves as spineless jellyfish to the international community, further inviting more unemployed behaviors to plague their streets, they're gonna need to lock up Johnny for a very long time, as those videos might actually be his final goodbye to the internet. That's why it's great we have the sponsor for today's video,
Sponsor.
With
Yeah,
Black Friday and Cyber Monday
I think that's
coming
just
up. Everybody's trying to get a deal
shit,
as the holiday season
the
is
math
always a
of
little
the
more
entire
expensive than we'd
thing
like.
is
So Raycon's everyday earbuds
like,
are already half the price.
they caught
of
him
the
with
other guys,
that,
but
so they
right
could give him
now,
7
Raycon
years.
is giving their Black
And they're
Friday
giving
deals
him
of up to 30%
16
site-wide.
years
And you
for
know I've been
defacing
using
the
my Raycons
statue.
for a while now, as they're
And
aware
also
of
do the
while
assault
I'm outside
charges.
listening to
That's
music
probably
and
another
still wanna be
extra
able to
10
hear what's
years
going on around
with
me.
both of
But it's
them,
their
if
new
it's
active
5
noise
years per
cancellation mode
charge.
that's been coming in clutch recently.
It's
And I got
25,
going
26
on around the house,
years.
but now I
Then
can
they
still
caught him
throw
with
in my work
with
without all
weed
that
in his
outside
system,
noise,
and that's still
especially with all
illegal
their
in
custom
Korea.
gel tips that
So
get perfect
that
fit. So
knocks
save
it up
big
to
on
the
Black
maximum
Friday and
sentence
support
for that
local
is
by going to
10 years. So that's already
buyraycon.com/DecoyVoice
35
today
years if
and get
all
up to 30%
charges
off
apply.
site-wide. That's
And
up
those
to
are just the ones
30%
that
off everything on
I
Raycon's
know of.
website when you
They
go
could
to
have a shit ton more.
buyraycon.com/DecoyVoice. Now, the beginning of the end for him began when he was literally being hunted during his live streams. So he switched to live streaming inside what appeared to be an empty room until internet sleuths caught a brief glimpse of a blurry pizza box that locals were quickly able to identify. And as he tried to antagonize the Koreans even further, they caught a reflection of the room off his cell phone, identifying a particular exit sign and an internet cafe monitor, as the chat filled with messages stating they knew where he was staying.
Bro, this is some like 4chan
Navy
shit.
SEAL found him in the street. But luckily for Johnny, the local authorities were nearby to rescue him.
My hat. 자, 이쪽으로 오세요. 거기 hat.
Arresting the Korean UDT SEAL that showed absolutely no remorse. And to my understanding, that guy had his bail, luxury hotel, and upcoming legal fees crowdfunded, as he's basically seen as both a local and international hero, just as I predicted would happen years ago. So being afraid to live stream anything but audio, he's resorted to essentially hosting conference calls on X, as these could barely...
Bro, you know there's some people out there that are like straight up listening to Somali's audio with like these like $1,000 studio headphones, changing the gain, changing the EQ, changing all that fucking shit that goes into audio, and like look like blah 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 blah. And they're like digging. You know, people are digging for like any background noise that could lead them to where he is. A train, a bird call, anything. You know, there's people on 4chan doing that shit.
Barely gain a couple hundred listeners, which is a huge drop off from his thousands of video views and the millions of people who would tune in to see him find out, which again was another one of my predictions, that he would slowly slip into internet obscurity as he provides nothing of value other than internet fame and fortune for whoever can find him in the streets, or for insanely famous podcasters that make thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars off of. As I imagine she'll get at least 3 million views,
like
showing a new side of the internet, exactly why he's despised.
They started walking away every time the dude
stripping off his shirt. He's trying to dance all up on this female figure, rubbing baby oil onto her, and the Koreans are
weird,
screaming at him in
dude.
Korean.
And to make it worse, that statue is supposed to be of a kid, which may make his dance a much more serious crime. So at least to Johnny Somali,
that is
he
wild.
Streams that garbage to a couple thousand people on the shady streaming site online, and nobody notices. And best case, I guess, is he's featured on the #2 crime podcast in the world. Then the mainstream news media picks it up, and now you're going viral for making a video doing very suggestive things to a statue of a kid that was specifically made to commemorate how
busted a Diddy
committed S crimes against kids. So he thought he was being funny to idiots online.
He did a Diddy,
what
a
really
dumbass.
Reopening one of the most sensitive issues in South Korean history, and now making it about him. And speaking of sensitive political issues, after he was streaming alongside some girl, recording himself vandalizing another guy's home, Johnny later displayed to his live stream AI-generated videos of him hooking up with a female streamer, which violates a brand new bill specifically made to charge people with those videos up to 7
that's the
years
7
in jail.
years I was thinking.
So some Korean politician is about to boost their entire career off this incident, as there was never a worse time to be this ignorant to local laws. And I don't think Johnny's intentionally speedrunning going to prison, but if he was, I don't think he would do anything
harsh
different,
migration
as
laws and
Dexerto previously
tourism
reported
laws,
he was facing 10 years in jail, which started from his first charge of causing a commotion in a convenience store that in comparison was one of his more milder offenses that he recorded himself committing.
Stupid. You. You Chinese.
But just like in Japan, he'd been bothering their citizens for a while, until the authorities arrested him over something simple as trespassing into a construction site. Now the Japanese made the mistake of letting him off easy, believing his lies and just deporting him. And the citizens are already seeing the effects of allowing foreigners to completely disregard your culture, which is why I think Korea has to absolutely throw the book at him. As not only did the entire world see some idiot twerk in poor baby...
They already have this preconceived notion about black people. These fucking idiots are just making it worse. You thought America's racist? You think America, present day America's racist? You have not visited one of these Asian countries. They'll be respectful until you push their buttons. And they already have this fucking preconceived notion of black people in general, regardless of whether you're African or American or both. And then you have these fucking idiots like Johnny Somali and this dumbass that go around doing stupid shit. Like, oh, Vey, you're not doing a service to your race there, friend.
oil over a
Being a
statue of a little
disservice.
girl, but also violate a
Shit, that's
brand new
wild.
law specifically made in response
Diddy
to
shit
public
right there.
outrage over deepfakes. This case is becoming so high profile that if they don't imprison him for at least half a decade, they're basically broadcasting not only to Koreans, but the entire world that their laws actually don't mean anything. And other streamers
Yeah,
know
that's
this,
wild.
as Legal Mindset is begging people to come forward.
For example, the people that he sexually harassed, you need to go file a complaint. Right now, the system looks at how many charges are there.
It's wild when you have someone like Legal
Charges
Mindset.
against them, he's screwed.
As the
on
convenience
this.
store wasn't the only place he bothered workers. He also bothered other streamers. He bothered random buskers. He and his stupid Korean friend bothered random girls in the streets.
That's just fucking cringe.
Even following them into stores.
Why did you run back in the store, bro? Well, I'm
That's
gonna crash
cringe
out.
as shit, dude.
I'm about to crash out. This your friend right
That's
here?
some
And
stalker
shouting at old
behavior,
ladies
dude.
just begging for change.
Get lost. Get the on. Come on.
Bruh.
As much as I think Johnny and Johnny Jr. are losers, I think that Korean dude that follows them around for secondhand clout is the most pathetic person I've seen.
Yeah, that is beyond
So I feel no
pathetic,
sympathy for
dude.
him, as he may have legal issues of his own, and he's pretty much earned it,
Uh-oh.
hanging out with a guy that literally despises his entire existence.
I like to make content that makes people violent. I hate Asians. I think all Asians need to be exterminated. Somebody please put this on the news tomorrow.
Which this too turns out to be a crime in Korea, punishable by up to 7 years in
Yeah.
jail. On top of the time he went into their subway system, broadcasting that he has a device.
나에겐 폭탄이 있다. 나에겐 폭탄이 있다.
Which again
That is
violates local
fucking
laws that could get him an additional 2 years in prison. So Dexerto said 10 years in prison. My math here adds up to 16, with some people even saying 29 years. But I guess the sentence length is irrelevant when Korea had an over 99% conviction rate. Now I understand
Bruh.
long prison sentences isn't as common in Korea, but the justice system is more of a deterrence for future offenders than rehabilitating previous offenders. So this particular scenario has zero drawbacks. When you can
Hey,
imprison someone for several years, then immediately deport him back to his home country. And although incarceration is incredibly expensive, it just might be worth the worldwide headlines of "Do not f with Korea. We got military age men that'll beat you up everywhere. We got high-speed internet to live stream your beating from every angle. Then we let you rot in a box over
Funny as
laws you
shit.
never knew existed." And that message is priceless. So if you appreciate my concise, lighthearted
Yeah, that is. Oh my god, dude. I to be fair, I half expected when they were doing this manhunt for him, this vigilante manhunt. I low-key half expected a group to find him and just throw his throw his ass over the border up north and be like, have him, have fun. Like I low-key expected that to happen. I was just like, when are they just gonna announce that they like threw his ass over the border as like a big old warning?
commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality. Hopefully I've earned your subscription. Then go check out the video on exactly why you need to protect your country's culture.
Yeah, this is disgusting as shit, dude. This is fucking weird and gross. I don't know why the fuck you would ever do that. You're a fucking black person. You're doing this in an Asian country where they already have this preconceived notion of you. And you're gonna come over here back to the States or back to fucking Europe, wherever the fuck you came from, and you're gonna cry and bitch and moan that they were so racist over there in Japan or Korea, that they were so beyond racist to me. And it's like, oh gee, I wonder why. I wonder why. Because you don't see fucking Mexicans doing this shit. As a matter of fact, you have an entire segment of the Japanese population that is like infatuated with the Mexican community. Which to me is fucking wildly hilarious, dude. It's wild. I ever visit Japan, I'm going as a Mexican, on God. Just so that way I'm not viewed as one of these fucking weirdos. Yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed. Let me know what y'all think, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Later.